Well, if you're returning after watching all of the cryptography material that we talked about in the SSCP, then your brain's probably swimming a little bit. There's a lot of information, right, that is covered in cryptography. And that's part of the challenge to this, is that this is a very large topic that if this is something that you start to focus even more on and learn more and more about, you get better and better at it. But it takes time and it takes effort. It's a wide variety of information. But now you can see how things work, why integrity and hashing works, and how we use that for integrity. You've seen how asymmetrical and symmetrical works, and how PKI is so important in that process of working with certificates. Not only how the certificates work, but why that process is so important to us, and a collection of other topics as well. So to add on to that, what I'd like to do is give you some other additional topics, but I want you to take note here. First of all, I want you to make sure that, to be real clear here, it's not that I secretly know that there are things on the exam and I wanted to make sure to highlight these topics. That's not my point in doing this. In fact, I don't know if these topics are covered on the CEH exam or not. I wanted to just highlight some particular topics that I'm not sure I highlighted enough in the SSCP, so I wanted to give these to you as a benefit. And it's kind of a hodgepodge, just a handful of individual topics. So we'll tie them in and see how this goes. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with taking a look at something called government access to keys, or the GAC. And this has been around for a long time, and there may be some confusion about this, about how software companies work with the government, and when a software company produces some kind of encryption or utilizes some kind of encryption, and the keys that they create, what responsibilities do they have to the government? And also another topic I want to take a look at is DSA and related signature schemes, digital signatures, and when we need to do signing, there's another process out there I want to make sure that I highlight. And one of my favorite things is, and I mentioned it in the SSCP, I just wanted to touch base with it again, is pretty good privacy. And one of the reasons why is that I talked about Web of Trust there, and I just want to make sure that with Web of Trust and that we talk about pretty good privacy, because also I'm going to give you a tool. A matter of fact, it's a disk encryption tool that uses PGP. So I want to make sure to mention it. And if you went to the other SSCP module that I recommended, which was the Application Security Module 2, that's where we talked about attacks and countermeasures, the types of attacks and some of the countermeasures, all of that good stuff. Well, there was a particular type of attack that I didn't mention, and I just wanted to mention it, and it's called a side channel attack. And so I just want to take a couple of minutes of your time to take a look at that. So what do you say we get started on this topic list, starting with government access to keys?